Without a doubt, climbing on a fixed gear sucks. Always in the wrong gear, and you have to push way harder than you need to get up a hill. But we still ride them anyway because, hey, they're fun to ride. Here's 5 ways to maximize your fixed gear for climbing, to make the suckiest part about riding a fixed gear suck just a little bit less. Number 1. Gearing. The most important part of your bike to consider is the gearing. You want to have a gear that is just spinny enough to get up most hills while still being high enough to comfortably descend. This generally means riding a gear ratio between 70-ish to 75-ish gear inches. I personally ride a 48-19 gear ratio, which is 69 gear inches. The steepest hill that I regularly climb averages at about 6% gradient for 1 mile. And you can calculate the gear inches on your bike on Sheldon Brown's website in the description. Number 2. Foot retention. If you want the most efficient pedal setup, clipless pedals are the way to go because they snap your foot into the pedal. This gives you the most efficient power transfer. And if you want absolute climbing efficiency, which doesn't really make any sense because you'll be riding fixed gear, but anyway, if you want absolute climbing efficiency, the best pedal setup are road, clipless pedals, and shoes. Road clipless systems tend to be more efficient than mountain bike clipless systems since they 1. Have a larger cleat, and 2. Have a stiffer sole than the shoe. Now, toe clips and straps work just fine for climbing, but they are less efficient than clipless systems. They sacrifice power transfer, but they make up for it in their walkability and convenience if that's important to you. So as far as foot retention goes, have it. If you don't have foot retention when you need foot retention, like when you're climbing up that hill, you're gonna have a bad time. Number 3. Handlebars. In a lot of people's experiences, the best type of handlebar to use for climbing are bullhorns. Bullhorns allow you to put much of your weight over your front tire, freeing up your rear wheel to spin more freely, making climbing a little bit easier. Bullhorns, especially wider ones, allow your chest cavity to open and get you that oxygen that you need when you're climbing a hill. Road drops on the hood position are also effective for climbing, but they are less comfortable in my experience than bullhorns. If you do a lot of climbing, I would suggest that you try to avoid riding track drops or riser bars since they don't have that hood position or that bullhorn position that allows you to get your weight over your front wheel to make climbing easier. Number 4. Weight. Although weight weenies are somewhat of an oddity in the fixed gear world, losing weight on your bike does have its merits when you're climbing. Aluminum track frames with carbon forks or even full carbon track frames do provide a benefit when you are climbing, as opposed to their full steel counterparts. If you don't want to change your entire frame set for either an aluminum one or a carbon one, the easiest way to shave a lot of weight off of your bike is to just swap out your fork for a full carbon fork. Now, losing weight off of your bike does have its benefits for climbing, but I generally don't recommend it because it does get really expensive really quickly. Instead, it's much easier to lose weight from the things that you're carrying or lose weight from yourself. Number 5. Bottle cages. Lastly, adding a bottle cage or 2 to your bike will allow you to stay hydrated on your climb. Climbing on a fixed gear can be painful, which means a lot of hyperventilating, a lot of sweat, and a lot of tears. You're going to need to replenish that water that you lose by drinking more water. And the best way to do that is with a bottle cage. Hopefully, with these 5 tips in mind, you can stave off that urge of becoming a roadie for just a little bit longer.